to the table, except instead of on the table next to the couch where I was supposed to sit. I sat down with the beans on the couch, and I realized the computer needed a charger. So I got up to go find my glass of water and get the charger. I came back to the couch with the glass of water, but no charger. I went to get my computer, laptop. I forgot I had already set it on the couch. Then I remembered that I had forgotten the charger. So this is stuff that I go through with regularity, and I can write down this stuff every day, all day, and fill up one of these in a couple of weeks. So my symptoms are pretty rough. They sent me to the Florida Health Center, and they tested, and this is when they found out. The results of their tests were, bam, you do not have a peripheral vestibular issue. In other words, your issue is not in the ears, it's in the CPU, it's in the central processing unit. It's in the cerebellum, it's in the brainstem, it's in the brain. So I now have the umbrella term central vestibular neuropathy. It's the part of the brain that processes all the information my limbs are sending, information my eyes are sending, what they see in regards to balance, distance, my position within the world. So it's limbs, it's eyes, and inner ear. The inner ear balance organs, the otoliths, which are sensitive to gravitational movement, up and down, lateral, forward, sideways, and then the semicircular canals, the three canals in either ear that sense tilt, spinning, spiraling, tilting, rotational axis. All of that stuff is processed inside the brain. Again, hypothalamus, I forget. It's hard for me to remember any of the stuff, but it's that center. It's a central vestibular disorder. It's a central processing issue. So that eliminates BPPV. So it only took, from 2009, it took only 12 or 13 years. It took 12 years, finally, to eliminate benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. And I think the sun now is out of the way, so we have a different look here. Okay. So 13 years, so 2022. So as they were doing all these things and putting all this information into the VA's central computer system, and as I was processing disability claims, because I don't have any money. I can't keep expecting my girlfriend to bust her ass to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 10 jobs, 15 jobs, whatever I need to exaggerate here to get the point across. I can't keep asking her to bust her ass when I have no source of income. Now, did I make some bad decisions earlier in life? Yeah, I didn't make perfect decisions. Of course. That's not really the point here. The point here is that I had a good source. I had a good income up into that 2009 period where my life changed with this car. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't do anything to cause that. I was working. I didn't ask for disability. I didn't ask for help. I charged. I went and I did stuff. I tried the best to earn money, but it's just it ain't working anymore. So I need help. So I go to Social Security and I ask them for help. Social Security took about a year, a little more than a year, and they turned me down. They said, "You've got issues. You can deal with it. You can still work." I was like, okay. So we're fighting it, getting help, got a lawyer. We're fighting it, and in the meantime, I got all my notes. And I got stacks of notes from the Veterans Administration, and it was appalling the mistakes they put in my notes. It was appalling. These errors were egregious. They said I was diagnosed with this, and I wasn't. One place in there says I was diagnosed with Meniere's. I never was diagnosed with Meniere's. I never would have brought it up. Nobody ever asked me about Meniere's. The person who put those notes in was a resident neurologist who was treating me, a resident neurologist. No offense, she's an MD, and she's studying under these other doctors to become a full-on neurologist, and I liked her. She was cool. But she had entered notes incorrectly. I had sent a bunch of timelines and information and packet sheets to her office for her to straighten this stuff out. I had sent them to her through the mail, and I had also hand-delivered the same stuff because I know how sloppy the VA is. I've learned this. They are very sloppy. And I had copies of notes, and the notes in the system indicate that she received them and she signed for them. That's what the notes say. But when I went to talk to her, follow-on appointment, she said she never received them. She never received any of that stuff. I was like, well, what do you do? What do I do? I challenge her, tell her how bad her system is. I'm not going to get any help from her. So this is horrendous. This is horrendous shite here. This is horrible. I mean, this is ridiculous stuff. So she actually had wanted to see me follow-up after my first appointment. She set me up for a 6-week follow-up. I couldn't see her for 6 months because that's how busy the Veterans Administration is, evidently. 6 months was the earliest I could go back to see her. 6 months. Veterans Administration is understaffed and overworked because they are underpaid. That's the research. I've stumbled across that research. They are understaffed because they are underpaid. The best physicians aren't going to stay there making $325,000 when they can go somewhere else and make $550, $650, $750. Are they? Would you, as a mechanic, if somebody said, I'm going to pay you $17 an hour, would you stay loyal, or would you go up to the place that would pay you $30 an hour? So, at some point, make a decision. I got to see a specialist because the Social Security turned me down because the notes were horrendously incorrect and all over the place. And they didn't even give me a full diagnosis of vestibular migraine. They said, we'll treat for vestibular migraine, but it might be canal dehiscence and it might be traumatic brain injury from the concussions I had at age 2, age 8, age 10, age 12, age 17, neck injury I had in the shipyard, the 2 car accidents I had. It could be any of those things that caused my neck and head injuries. So it was all over the place. So the diagnosis was wishy-washy. They finally agreed, and I was pushing for just a diagnosis. Give me some treatment. They finally agreed to treat me for VM. So basically, they've crossed everything off. They're confused. They don't know. I've gone to the ENT. I've gone to ophthalmology. I've gone to the neuro and all over the place. I finally said, I got to get an expert. So I'm online. Dr. Shin Bei, one of the world-renowned experts on vestibular migraine, got his book, read through it. I'm like, yeah. Saw all his videos and lectures. Dr. Teixido in Delaware, another one, all kinds of great information, got all his videos, studied it. And I set up an appointment, August 1st, a telemedicine appointment to talk to Dr. Bei. I have been sending him all my files. I have been sending him MRIs, scans, discs, you name it. I've sent all that stuff to Dr. Bei, and that'll be my next video, I suppose. So I know when you do an outline like this, when you do a talk like this, you're supposed to make it simple. You're supposed to do an outline form, right? I'm supposed to say, hey, this is my name, Dennis Hamilton. I am going to tell you when I knew I had a problem. I'm going to tell you about my early diagnosis. I'm going to tell you when I quit the car biz, fell in love, moved to Florida, my symptoms increased, new diagnosis, and what I'm going to do now with Dr. Bei. So that's my summary. I'm supposed to tell you what I'm going to tell you after I introduce myself. So I tell you what I'm going to tell you. Then I tell you. I spent the 40 minutes going through and explaining it. Then I spent a minute summarizing what I explained. Okay, that's the cat. Hey, cat? This is what happens when you don't give a cat enough attention. If you knock that globe over, okay, don't threaten, don't be mean, don't be angry. Anyway, I guess that's a good time to quit. So at this point, we are lucky enough to have a friend of the family who is a Harvard lawyer. Talk about privilege. Now, we are incoming at the poverty level, but we have a Harvard lawyer. And she's going to help, bless her heart. I don't know where I would be. She's going to help. And she said getting with Dr. Toby. Why are you destroying everything? Now he's over here. Having a Harvard lawyer is going to be a huge help, and she suggested getting this Dr. Bay will make all the difference in the world. So hopefully I can get as a man who's almost 62. Hopefully I can get some relief through Social Security since I'm going to be retiring anyway. But Social Security, the disability will be a little more than I would be getting if I straight up went retire early. So that's it, and I'll get back with a second video when I have more information. After seeing Dr. Bay on August 1st. I hope this helps some of you all. Hang in there. Catastrophe. Hang in there. So you can find humor even when you're not doing well. And I'll get back with you again after I have the telemedicine appointment with Dr. Bay in Dallas. Take care. Love you all. Thanks for listening.